always happy to get to talk Ethereum at length without people calling me a maxi because I'm interjecting Ethereum talk in non-Ethereum conversations. So
Right.
if you want, let's just talk quickly about who you are, what is StakeWise, and we'll take it from there. I'm sure people will be very, very happy to learn what you guys are doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I'm the founder and CTO at StakeWise. Initially, I can start like how I started in crypto. It was around 6 years back when I was doing my master's in cryptography and security. The first time I learned about Bitcoin, and it actually blew my mind, like what you can do. You can transfer like money without any intermediate parties. And later on, I heard about like Ethereum, that you can actually also build decentralized applications on top of the blockchain. So and since then, I was always like following the space, and I was building different applications. Like started with the miners, like building some crypto lotteries on top of miners as well in a decentralized, like with a smart contracts way. And then like 3 years back, I heard about ETH2. That got me really excited. I wanted to become a validator myself. And yeah, this is how the StakeWise actually was born, because in the beginning, you had to have 1,000 Ether to become a Ethereum validator. And that was like a huge amount of money. So the pooling idea came out of it. And I started to follow the ETH2 space. I was like joining the conversations around ETH2 client teams, trying to help out where I can. And at the same time, I was building StakeWise until we launched March this year. And yeah, we're live and we are here. So I can tell you a bit more maybe about what's StakeWise and what's exactly for users. So StakeWise is an ETH2 liquid staking platform where users can stake their Ethereum, get tokens back, and use that in DeFi. So they don't need to care about running the validators. They don't need to care about the amount of ETH they have. You can stake from 1 way up to 1,000 Ether and get the tokens and just use them in a DeFi. We also have a unique token system in a way that we split the reward and the stake, like the principal balance and the reward balance, in 2 different tokens. What it allows us to do is it allows us, like the users, to compound the rewards. That's something which is unique to the whole ETH2 space, and that's something that validators, by their nature, currently don't allow to do. Yeah, and those basically are the points that we solve for the users. This is like infrastructure part. They don't need to run the validators. They can stake any amount. They can compound their rewards, and they can use their staked Ether across DeFi to earn bigger yields on their ETH.
Dumb question here, but why is it that nobody had thought about compounding the gains from staking before? Why is it that you guys were first movers in this space?
Right. It was more about the token system, what you built. So in general, there are currently 3 types of tokens how you can that are used in the ecosystem for liquid staking protocols. One of them is where you increase so-called rebalancing token. When you get when you stake 1 Ether, you get 1 like stake token back, and then it increases in the numbers. So you get like with the time you get 1.1 stake token, 1.2, and while you hold it, you kind of accrue the rewards on top of it. But actually, what happens under the hood, there is like a validator, and the validator, in order to create the validator, you need to have 32 Ether, and you also get the Ether on top of it. So you get like 32.1, 32.2, but the part which brings you more rewards is actually only 32 Ether. It's called effective balance. So if you even have like 35 Ether deposited, like 60 Ether deposited into one validator, you will still earn only from 32 Ether. And most of the projects, they represent it as one single token. Like you have, if you have, let's say, if you stake 34 Ether, not basically stake, but yeah, the rewards and the principal are contained within one token. And because we separate them, like we have everything what is 32 Ether, represents 32 Ether staked as one token, and what it earns on top as another token, it allows people to use secondary markets to actually exchange those rewards into the stake. So there is a liquidity pool where they can like basically sell the rewards for the principal, and this way they increase their principal. So if they stake like some amount, then it becomes like more in principal. So yeah, this is how we enable compounding, and yeah, this is it.
And I mean, just to stay on the line of what StakeWise is and what StakeWise does, it's interesting to me that all of a sudden you see more people staking, right? Before, when staking was just first announced, people would be sort of not completely open to the idea. And now with the ultrasound money meme, with the deflationary thing, with the London upgrade and all that, it seems like more people are coming around to staking. So are there any factors that have influenced how people think of staking besides the obvious?
Yeah, I think
and if you want to state the obvious, of course, it's all right.
Yeah, I think there are like multiple ways, because multiple angles to look on that. So I think like in the beginning, people who started to stake, those were people who like, because when ETH2 staking started, the yield was the highest because there was the smallest amount of Ether staked, and with the more ETH like staked into the ETH2 network, the lower APR becomes. So people rushed into that, and they wanted to get you like basically earn the rewards that they can get from that early launch of ETH2. But now it becomes more like, I think, from people who don't want to just like play on the price of Ether, buy and sell, but actually are long-term believers. They want to stake their Ether for a longer period of time. They believe that Ether gonna like become basically, yeah, will cost more, and yeah, they are the strong believers in Ethereum ecosystem and the blockchain itself. So those are the ones as well. And in general, I think the ETH2 staking as of now, it brings you one of the best yields on top of Ethereum. So if you have multiple options there, you can either participate in like collateral protocols, or you can basically stake Ether, another option, and there are probably more of those, but yeah, staking ETH is one of the highest APRs as of today.
You know what I find very interesting? That we have like these two simultaneous narratives in the world, which is like Ethereum is eventually going to flip Bitcoin. And I think more and more people are just coming around to this idea as something. I'm not going to say that it's a given, but most people are coming around to it as a given. And you even saw like Goldman Sachs comment on that. And on the other hand, you have the crowd that is like, Ethereum is worthless, the fees are too big, you're never going to manage to fix a system that's already running. I don't know. Do you see the other chains that are like, of course, pushing this narrative and the fanboys of those chains that are pushing this narrative? Do you see them as just in denial, or what do you think is happening there, that we have these two things happening at the same time?